Hey everyone, so I've just woken up and I realized we got some new news for Halloween at State of Play last night. I haven't watched this at all, so this is going to be my total fresh live reaction of Halloween gameplay and the release date, of course, as well. So let's see, because I'm very intrigued here. Let's hope it's not too loud. I turn it down just a little bit.
Rarely do teams get the incredible opportunity of exploring and creating a game around iconic horror legends like Michael Myers. In Halloween, players get to relive that fateful night in 1978 and step back into the town of Haddonfield, Illinois. I'm Miles Dompierre from illfonic, and today I'm thrilled to present an extended look at gameplay for Halloween. With the help of Unreal Engine 5, we've been able to reconstruct the quiet town of Haddonfield in stunning detail. Remaining authentic to the 70s era aesthetics was essential to how we crafted our play spaces. When players navigate these environments, they'll be surrounded by decor that delightfully preserves a special moment in time. Throughout these locations, randomized townsfolk NPCs are living their lives, completely unaware of the danger lurking right outside their windows. These NPCs serve as the game's primary objectives. Stepping behind the mask of this infamous killer, Michael's goal is to find, stalk, and kill the residents of Haddonfield before Halloween night ends. Once you've honed in and stalked a target, it's time to choose the perfect moment to strike.
Oh, dang.
Michael comes equipped with an array of unpredictable endowments, but the most powerful is Shape Jump. When in Shape Jump, Michael is invisible to the naked eye. This is our interpretation of Michael's inexplicable tendency to suddenly appear in completely unexpected places and catch victims off guard. Players can also choose from a broad range of compelling civilian hero characters that have witnessed the wrath of Michael and need to warn their neighbors before it's too late. Finding an active phone will allow you to call the police and attempt to convince them to send in help. Just remember, you may be able to knock him down, but you can't kill the boogeyman. We hope you've enjoyed this extended look at gameplay for Halloween. We've only scratched the surface of what's shaping up to be a truly special and murderous sandbox horror experience. And we can't wait for you all to join us in Haddonfield when Halloween launches on September 8th,
September 8th.
2026.
That's surprising. I was expecting the Halloween release date on that one. So just quickly going back through the trailer, I'm going to mute it so we don't have the audio playing all the time. Graphically, it looks okay. I mean, it's Unreal Engine 5. There's some good detail here. You look on the grass on the left and stuff. Like, we'll just analyze the graphics real quick more than anything. Does it look as good as Evil Dead or Texas? I wouldn't say so. Being an Unreal Engine 5 game, I think those games look a lot better. But it still looks good. It looks better than Killer Clowns. But it seems like it's like Killer Clowns graphics, but enhanced, if that makes sense. There's just a little bit more detail in there. Killer Clowns didn't look terrible, but some of the street maps and stuff look very familiar to what we're seeing right now on Killer Clowns, and transition to Halloween here. I'd say it just kind of has a little bit better lighting. It's got a little bit more detail attached to it, and it's a bit weird considering I think Killer Clowns was only Unreal Engine 4. It might have been Unreal Engine 5, but I feel like it was Unreal Engine 4 because 5 I don't think was like really fully launched at that time. So yeah, the graphics aren't terrible. Like I said, it's probably just behind Texas. I always think Evil Dead looks the best. That's just my non-biased opinion, honestly, because that's made by AAA devs. It's obviously going to look the best. It's got the best weather effects and everything in an ASIM game. And then you've got Texas. Texas looked great, obviously. And then probably Halloween, I would say, in terms of how good looking the ASIM is. Now, talking about the animations and stuff, the animations of Walking with Michael is pretty cool. Obviously, they got Nick Castle, the original Michael, to do the walking animations. The walking animations on the humans look okay as well. Usually with illfonic games, the animations can look very jank. But they didn't look too bad here, surprisingly. Yeah, and just going back to the graphics real quick, obviously we have this shot of like an alleyway. You have the light flickering as well. Like it's got some good detail attached to it there. This doesn't fill me with confidence though. This room here does not look great. I'll say that. There's not a lot of detail in the bed cover. Some other stuff looks okay, like the guitar's got some good detail to it. even the drawers here, they've got the wood effects and everything attached to it. So yeah, it's like it's good detail in some places, and then other places it looks very Lego. You know, it's very straight lines and not a lot of stuff going on there like under the window here. And if it's going to be such a big map, we don't know how big the maps are going to be. You're going to expect some areas to not look as good as others, obviously, but it's just, for me, Unreal Engine 5 would hold higher standards to anything on Unreal Engine 4. This, if you're looking at this game, this looks like very late Unreal Engine 4 stuff, so it's interesting how it's not, like, there's certain elements that are Unreal Engine 5, like you see the reflection of the light on the floor and stuff like that, that looks great. But yeah, I always feel like maybe, again, this isn't fully launched yet. Maybe they'll enhance the graphics a little bit more as well and optimize it well for each console and PC. But me, I just see it as I see it as I see it on my screen, and yeah, I'm not overly impressed with the graphics, but they're still pretty good. But yeah, I was very worried we're going to have that usual illfonic jank attached to it. But to be honest, it looks probably like the best illfonic game that we're gonna come to love, and the graphics on the phone, again, you've got all this jagged edges going on here, needs kind of smoothing out there. But yeah, it is what it is, really, isn't it? I think it's really cool just seeing Michael like slowly walking around and stalking people as well. I do wonder if that's like, obviously you're going to have the shape form. I wonder if that's going to be his like movement speed, his traversal, and this is how he's actually going to be able to, kind of walk around mainly, not making any noise. He's slowly stalking around, stalking all the residents. This right here was really cool. So, I wonder if Michael can kind of like, if he's fully stalked somebody, he can see their aura behind a wall or something along those lines. So that's how he knew he was coming around the corner, and then he's already prepared with the attack there to hit somebody. But yeah, that was pretty sick for the gameplay. Obviously we didn't, we see the shape form here now. Like I said, Michael's slow walking around quite a lot in this trailer. The transition into the shape form, the effects look great doing this, and I think we all expected them to have something along those lines, because I think Jason had something a bit similar. You could kind of like teleport and stuff. Again, I was a noob at Friday the 13th. I never really played it that much, so I'm pretty sure Jason had something similar, but this seems more like you're in control of the shape form, where I think with Jason you could more or less teleport rather than do this type of thing. So it's going to be funny just chilling as a survivor here. Then I wonder if you can just reappear as Michael right in their faces. But yeah, even stuff like this is really cool. So if you're in the shape form here, like I've literally just noticed this, but it's pretty cool. Like you still see the lighting on the map. So you got the lighting around on the jack-o'-lanterns here. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, I think the shape form is probably a great way to kind of keep the balance of Michael being quick and gaining some pressure around the map as well. So what the guy said in this trailer was, we'll replay what he says actually, because I can't really remember it in exact detail there, but
players can also choose from a broad range of compelling civilian hero characters that are
so you've got compelling civilian hero characters. So to me, that sounds like it's not going to be like fully customizable characters like it is in Killer Clowns, where you can make your own human. It looks like we have some preset characters that we're going to play and unlock potentially, and they're going to be part of maybe it's the single player storyline as well. We might have a few notions of them mentioned in there as well. But yeah, to be honest, I think the humans look way better than they do in Killer Clowns as well. Like, there's a lot more detail in their faces. They don't just look so flat. What's funny is on Xbox, so on Xbox's description, it says that it has lifelike NPCs. Obviously, these are humans, but even the guy that was just chilling on his couch when Michael was stalking him earlier didn't really look, lifelike. Maybe they just say they act lifelike, Which, you know, to be honest, when I'm watching this trailer, I'm kind of a lot more excited for it because I was worried it's going to be this like fast, chaotic game, like a usual illfonic game. Like, you know, you've got Ghostbusters, you've got Killer Clowns. It's very fast, it's very chaotic. This looks more slow played, and that's what I kind of want to see the game become. You know, I don't want people just sprinting around, not having any consequences. You know, you have the NPCs running around terrified all the time. Like, I don't want to see any of that in this game. You know, I like that it's got this horror vibe to it, this slasher vibe where it's all slowly played out like it would be in the Halloween movies, you know.
Victims off guard. Players can also choose.
But yeah, you know, just looking at their design, I don't think they look terrible. You know, there's definitely a lot of detail in there. I wonder if they have some 70s authentic jackets from Gun Media here. You know, that's some 70s authentic denim put into the game. Fuck yes, let's go. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think they look, you know, pretty good. You know, they definitely look better than Killer Clowns humans, and you know, we got to judge it on Killer Clowns because that was the last game illfonic made that only come out last year. So, this is like kind of a bigger step up for them. And yeah, you know, we're seeing gameplay like a year away here, so obviously I think a lot of stuff's going to be polished out. We're going to probably have more maps as well. But yeah, you know, I'm actually surprised at how good the game does look and how the animations are looking. Like the stuff of the cop cars and the lens flare and off the, well, not lens flare, but you know, there's the reflection off the side of the cop car looks great as well. Got some good detail there, and the fall animation of him there. You know, I don't think that's terrible. You know, it's, again, this is probably motion captured by Nick Castle as well, of him like being shot and then he's falling backwards. I don't think that's really bad. You know, we've played TCM over the years, and you remember you hit those electric grids, or you got knocked over by Leland or a door. You would just like go, you'd be perfectly vertical, and then you would just go, like you just fall horizontal in one frame. So at least they have some animation there. This character looks really cool though, and she's carrying the bat, so obviously that's going to be a weapon there. So you can knock him down, but you know, there's nothing really dissect here because there's no UI or anything yet, so we can't really see like, oh, why is Michael gone down here? You know, it's like, obviously, I think the closest thing that you're noticing on this particular moment is that he's got a lot of red around here, so maybe he's been hit a few times. And then the guns looking quite powerful as they are. Obviously, that's knocking him down there. And then, you know, he's just getting back up. I will say there's one thing I just noticed there, and maybe they'll fix that, but if you notice, look in his right hand here. Okay, he's got his knife, and then as he's getting knocked back, it disappeared. Terrible. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll be fixed, right? You know, slow walking around with the flashlights as well. Like, this is a very spooky vibe. It's very cool. It's very ambient for the game as well. But I'm actually, you know, this caught me off guard. I was expecting, you know, this to look like absolute slop and some jank attached to it. It's really surprising me of how good this game really does look. Yeah, I pointed out some things. Obviously, this is just some like really early footage. It's not really representation of like final gameplay or anything because we're almost a year away from release date. And to be honest, I'm surprised we got a release date. They're very confident that they're going to get this out on September 8th. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely, it does look pretty solid. And yeah, coming September 8th, 2026. So yeah. That's my reaction to the latest gameplay. I don't know if there's anything else. I'll scurry around a little bit and maybe attach it at the end of this video if there's anything else to look at, or you know, if there's any more details that have been announced at State of Play for this game. But yeah, this was just on the illfonic YouTube channel. You can go and check that out for yourself as well if you wanted to. Not listen to me break it down, but you know, from what we've seen so far, I think this is shaping up. Pun intended. This is shaping up to actually be some, you know, some good experience here. Like, there's no Killer Clowns jank attached to it by the looks of it so far. And looking at everything else, you know, graphically it looks okay. You know, it definitely looks way better than Killer Clowns, but you know, just more of like an enhanced version of that. And Unreal Engine 5, you've got some decent motion capture going on there, a little bit better detail on the humans as well. You know, we're gonna have carrying around these flashlights and stuff, and Michael's just gonna be appearing and attacking us. So yeah, this is honestly looking very cool and very, very exciting. And I'm sad that we've got to wait another year for it. Hopefully we get some betas and stuff to play test things as well. That'll be really dope. But let me know your thoughts down below on the Halloween gameplay and the release date. I'm really intrigued to know what people's opinions are on this. Do you think it looks terrible? Do you think it looks great? I think for the you know, you got to remember these ASIM games, for the price, they're usually like $40 to $50. You know, they're not a full price game. So you always got to bear that in mind, you know, and usually you get a lot more game time from that, you know, price point. So I always think you're getting your money's worth with ASIM games most of the time, despite, you know, some of them coming out and dying. You know, even if they're dead in the next 6 months, more than likely, at least you've got your money's worth there. It does suck seeing like your favorite game or something that you're passionate about die at the end of the day. It is very, very difficult, you know, having go through stuff like that. When you have purchased a game, you want to back it, you want to support it, and then, you know, the devs just kill support, which is, you know, it's very frustrating, especially for me as a content creator. I want to see these games succeed. I want to see them do really well, because if they're successful, I'm usually successful, you know, being able to do news, guide videos, and streams and everything like that. So I never want to see these games die. I want to see them perform well. I don't give a shit most of the time who is attached to it. You know, I just want to have some kind of consistency with these games just once. I mean, at the moment they're just consistently dying, and maybe it'll stop with Halloween, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe something else will come out later on down the line about Halloween that nobody likes about it. You know, maybe they'll start doing NFTs or something, and people will get pissed off, and then nobody's going to buy it. But we'll have to be very careful and keep our eyes peeled and be very vigilant about it. But like I said, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for more content like this on this channel. I do stream on this channel as well. I haven't really been streaming much this week. I've had some family visiting and stuff, so I haven't really had time to jump on the stream. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I'll keep my eyes peeled for some more news. That's my dog you can hear. Anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for watching the video.